Hello everybody, today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and power on the Sony Xperia XZ3 Android smartphone. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So this is the Sony Xperia XZ3 Android smartphone. It is Sony's flagship smartphone, which was released a couple of months ago. And here are some of its features and specifications. And now let's go ahead and open up the box. Well, of course, cutting apart the security seal and popping the lid off to reveal the smartphone. So this is the Sony Xperia XZ3 Android smartphone right there, sitting nicely in its tray packaging inside the box. Okay, just going to rest it in the middle of the frame just so you have a clear view there of the smartphone. And now let's pop it off or out of its box packaging and together with the rest of the contents. So just going to lay the contents out across the tabletop so you have the entire view of the contents in the frame. So it comes with a wall plug charger as well as a USB Type-C charging cable, and there's a box here. We'll find out what's in it in just a second, and continuing on to remove the rest of the contents. Okay, so that's the contents emptied. I beg your pardon, I did say that this was a charging cable, but it is in fact a audio adapter cable. So there we go, that's the contents laid out across the tabletop. Let's first start off by opening or finding out what's in this box here. But of course popping it open and then removing the contents, of course checking through to make sure that there's nothing else left inside the box. And just to show you the details of the box for reference purposes. So there we go. I'm going to set the box to the side and show you the items that we've just removed from it. Okay, so 3 different sets of papers here. The first one is a declaration of conformity right here. So taking a quick look right through. And the reverse side as well, right there. Okay, so that's the first set of papers. Let's find a spot to put it down. So right there, and moving on to the next set. There is a leaflet here. As you can see, the print is very, very fine. So I'm going to give you a close-up look right there. And on this side as well. Okay, and moving on to the last set of papers is this booklet here. And just making some fine adjustments to the layout of the tabletop. So this is a startup guide, as you can see. Let's go ahead and open it up just to reveal what the startup guide covers. So right there, front as well as back. And now giving you a close-up look to the panels of the startup guide for the Sony Xperia XZ3 Android smartphone. Once again, that print is very fine, so I have to bring the booklet really close, or leaflet really close to the camcorder, so you have some visibility or legibility to the very fine text presented in this startup guide. And there we have it. So startup guide, setting it down along with the other 2 sets of papers, and now we can move on to the next item. Let's start off with the smallest item here. So it appears to be a USB-C and 3.5mm audio plug right there. So it's a plug adapter for a 3.5mm audio jack. Now I'm going to set this down and move on to the next item. So just turn it around very quickly. And then moving on to the next item, which is the charging cable. So there is a USB Type A, USB Type C charging cable or power cable right here. Okay, and now moving on to the next item. We do have, of course, the wall plug charger right here. So this is a British or 3-pin UK charger, and the middle pin does extend out so that it can be used in a British or UK standard socket. Alright, and now finally we can move on to the Sony Xperia XZ3 Android smartphone itself. So you can see it is in its tray right here, and taking a look at the rear or main camera right there. They've left a little recess there. And initial impressions, it is a very, very large phone. It is the largest phone that I've ever handled. And it does have quite some weight to it. So it weighs nearly 200 grams. And now just taking a all-round look at the smartphone up close. And just to give you some perspective of the size of the smartphone, resting in the palm of my hand right there. Really large phone. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll see that I'm quite used to unboxing compact versions of Sony's releases. Not quite so much the flagship, big and powerful phones like this. And now giving you a close-up to the side profile. It's right there, not sure how well the camcorder can focus. As you can see, this is a black phone right here, and it does have a very shiny edge around it. And just slowly going around the edges of the smartphone, you can see the USB Type-C connector at the bottom end of the smartphone, along with some very, very fine or narrow, thin buttons right there. And just moving right along, another button right there, and so on and so forth. So this phone is just under a centimeter thick, or 9.9 millimeters. Or I beg your pardon. It is, yep, it is 9.9 millimeters. So nearly a centimeter thick or thin, depending on how you want to call it. So once again, giving you some idea of the size of the smartphone right there. Pretty big. It's not something that you'll fit comfortably in your pants pocket. Okay, so now let's take a look at the rear as well. So rear does have a nice glossy back, along with the camera. So it does have a 19 megapixel main camera or rear camera and a 13 megapixel selfie camera. So pretty serious stuff. So a very classy looking smartphone right here. And now let's go ahead and turn it on, of course. Let's see if we can power it on, and of course peel off the screen protector as well as the protective film. So I'm just going to find some spots in which we can peel this off. And just like that, you can see it does have that beautiful black screen right there, a 6-inch screen. So real shiny looking phone here, really slim as you can see. As I mentioned, 9.9 millimeters thick or thin, or just under a centimeter. And I've just pressed and held the power button right here, and now the smartphone screen has lit up and it is now starting up. So we've just powered on the phone, and this phone does have an OLED screen. Now we're just watching it start up. So it does have a welcome screen right here, and let's tap on get started, and let's accept. And let's go for that. And now it requires a Wi-Fi or SIM card to connect. And let's skip this process. Okay, so let's just continue without setting the phone up if we can. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip all these options or setups. And not now. And we are ready to go. So that is the main home screen. Just to give you a look at it with a fresh from new startup. So giving you a close-up look right there, and swiping across to show you what the screen looks like and the quality of the color reproduction, and of course the resolution as well. And of course giving you a look at all the apps straight out from the factory. And tapping on the apps, showing you a separate app screen right there. So 2 screens of apps there. And back to the home screen right here. Once again, giving you that close-up look. At the OLED or OLED screen quality. And the rear of the smartphone once again. And there we have it. So that's the Sony Xperia XZ3 Android smartphone. Thanks for watching and happy calling!